How do the dragons from Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon breathe fire? Do they have specific fire glands? What is the source of their fire? Questions we will answer here in this video. Let's get to it. To understand this, we should first know how the dragons were created. It is stated that dragons are believed to be intrinsically tied and bound to magic in the world of A Song of Ice and Fire. There were quite a few theories as to their origins. For example, it was believed that they were originally from the Shadowlands of Ashai, or that they came from a broken moon. But the most accepted origin story was that there were dragon eggs discovered by the Valyrians in a land of the 14 fires, and with blood rituals and fire magic, they bound their bloodlines to the dragons, and hence, people like the Targaryens or their offsprings were the only ones capable of bonding with a dragon. So now that we know their body structure, let's take a look into the first real question: how do they breathe fire? Well, the most obvious answer is through their mouths, but we are going to be going for a more in-depth explanation. So the theory goes that since they have immense air sacs or flight bladders that either produce or store in a lighter-than-air gas, it would be safe to infer that the gas would most probably be flammable and the source of their fire. The air sacs would then have tubes that connect with excretory units as seen in the mouths of these dragons that look like fire glands. Every dragon in House of the Dragon and even in Game of Thrones have these two holes on the sides of their mouths, and these are the fire glands. So the only probable gases that are lighter than air and flammable are methane and hydrogen, which means that either one of these or a fantasy element is produced inside these air sacs, and they become the biological source of a dragon's fire. But this is a magical world, and the dragons are intrinsically attached to magic. Therefore, the ignition of the gas would also be done by intrinsic magic. And maybe the gas that was produced in the air sacs are also elements that are only found in that world. These sparks would most obviously be created in the mouth of the dragon, as seen when Dany's dragons tried spewing out fire for the first time as babies. Now that the basic process of how dragon fire is created is understood, the next question is how long can they breathe fire? There should always be a limitation, but since these creatures are born of magic, then I bet it's their life force that is tied to the world that also continuously creates the gas which is ignited and turned into dragon flame. We can see a near unlimited volume of flame when Dany's dragons were fighting the dead, when they were burning the ships in Meereen, when Drogon was burning King's Landing, and Caraxes fighting the crab people in the Stepstones. The amount of gas and fire would have far exceeded the ability of the best compressed natural gas cylinders in the world today, therefore meaning that the dragon's fire is near unlimited, only held back by the dragon's stamina and his life force. So, how hot is the flame of a dragon? Well, the temperature of dragon fire correlates with the size of the specific dragon, which means that bigger the dragon, hotter the flame. Balerian's fire had a temperature of more than 2000 degrees Celsius, which was hot enough to melt the granite and stone walls of Harrenhal, as was stated in the books. We have seen Vhagar spew out fire to burn Laena Velaryon to a crisp, but a human body is as easy a task as can be. Caraxes was able to turn the crab people into ash inside their armor, which means the temperature would have been easily over 1000 to 1200 degrees Celsius. But Drogon, even though smaller than Balerion, was able to melt the Iron Throne made of numerous steel swords. Therefore, this would put his fire temperature to around the same as Balerion, around 1800 to 2000 degrees Celsius. That's hot. The living Viserion had the same flame, maybe similar to Drogon's, but the undead dragon under the Night King's control had a very blue flame. Now, we might think that the blue fire is hotter than yellow or red fire, as is told to us in elementary school. But this flame is quite the opposite. It's a cold, blue cold magic plasma that is empowered by the White Walker's magic. This magic even increases the stamina of the undead dragon so that he can spew out the flame near continuously, even coming out of the holes inside his body without actually burning the body of the undead beast. Therefore, this fire is quite the opposite to Drogon's red flames. It is a cold magical fire that can destroy through intense cold and brute force. So that's about it for Dragon Fire from House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button for support. and subscribe, but most of all, smash that bell icon for regular updates on new videos here on this channel. Till the next one, take care fam.